What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Split Labs. It's NBA Finals week, and while Game 1 doesn't tip off until Thursday, the public has already made up its mind. Today, we're doing an early look at Pacers versus Thunder, breaking down where the money's going, what the stats say, and if there's value hiding under all the OKC hype. Let's start with the early splits, and they're loud. On the spread, 74% of bets are on OKC minus 9.5, and 94% of the total money is also on the Thunder. Moving to the money line, Thunder are around minus 430, and 95% of the money is backing them to win Game 1. Pacers money line, it's sitting at plus 340, and almost nobody's touching it right now. We're still 3 days out, but this looks like one of the most lopsided openers of the entire postseason. Early money, public money, all landing the same way. But anytime you see 90% plus of the money on one side, you've got to ask, are we overreacting to the matchup? But let's not act like the Pacers haven't earned this spot. They beat the Bucks in 5, then took out the Knicks in 6. Indiana isn't just riding momentum. They've shown they can adjust, score in bunches, and stay composed when it matters. Let's shift to the total, currently around 230.5. Early split data says 55% of bets are on the over, but 77% of the money is on the under. That's classic reverse line movement. Public wants points, but the sharps are hitting the under. Game 1s tend to be slower, tighter, and more about adjustments than fireworks. Now, before we dive into the stat matchup, let's talk about the betting side of this. Because if you're waiting to lock in a bet, there are a few key things to keep an eye on over the next couple days. Number 1, line movement. If OKC moves from negative 9.5 to negative 10 or higher, that means the public steam is still piling in. And the books are comfortable letting it grow. That can be a signal that buyback on Indiana hasn't hit yet, or might be coming late. 2. Money versus bets percent. If you start to see the percent of money on OKC drop, but the percent of bets stays high, that means sharper, larger bets are starting to come in on Indiana, even if the public isn't. 3. Watch the total. If the total dips from 230.5 to 229 or lower, that confirms the early sharp interest on the under. Game 1 unders have a history of hitting in the finals when pace slows down early. So, as the week goes on, don't just watch the number. Watch how it moves and who's moving it. Alright, let's look at some real data behind this matchup. For points per game, Pacers are averaging 116.9 points per game, which was 5th in NBA, and the Thunder? 117.1, ranking 4th. Scoring is nearly identical. Don't expect a blowout just based on firepower. Assists and ball movement. Indiana averages 27.9 APG, top 5, and OKC, 25.3 APG. Pacers move the ball better. That matters against elite defenders. Offensive rebounding. Indiana was ranked 30th and OKC ranked 13th. This is big. Extra possessions for OKC could swing Game 1 late. Disruption. Both teams are clean, but here's the kicker. OKC leads the NBA in steals per game. That's where Halliburton and the Pacers could get tested early. So what can we actually take away from this early action? If the public keeps pounding OKC, we might see this line move from negative 9.5 to negative 10 or more. That creates potential buyback value on Indiana, especially if you're waiting for a plus 10.5 or better. If you're betting totals, this might be your best chance to grab 230.5 before it dips. And remember, the first 48 hours of betting tells you how early opinions are shaping the narrative, but not necessarily how the pros will finish it. Here are the key battlegrounds we'll be watching Thursday. Can Indy's ball movement hold up against OKC's length and defensive pressure? Does OKC dominate the boards and control pace? SGA versus Halliburton. Who sets the tone? If the Pacers play fast, they're live. If OKC turns this into a half-court grind, the Thunder probably coast. So here's where we're at. OKC is the clear favorite, but the market might be getting ahead of itself. If you're backing the Thunder, negative 9.5 might be your best number. If you believe in Indiana's chaos, patience might pay. Let the public inflate the line. We'll be back later this week with an updated breakdown, but for now, this is your early look at how the finals are shaping up for Game 1. Drop your lean in the comments. Pacers with the points or Thunder blowout? Let's hear it, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out splitlabs.net for more data just like this one.